Bitcoin traders, pay attention. The Fed's interest rate decision is dropping tomorrow. Markets are betting 95.9% on a 0.25% cut, but Bitcoin is right now sitting right at resistance. Could this turn into a classic sell the news event? Let's analyze. Hello ladies and gentlemen of Paradise Club, this is Simon from Crypto Paradise. Let's analyze Bitcoin. It's great to have you here. Welcome back. Today is Tuesday and we will start analyzing Bitcoin on a weekly time frame, but we will not finish there. We will also go through daily, 4-hour and 1-hour. But let me start with CME futures. Let's take a look that since August we have had this beautiful gap right here, and by this price action to the upside, exactly right here, it got closed. This beautiful gap. I've told you 96% of cases, in 96% of cases, it's always gets closed within the next 3 months of its creation. And this one, it wasn't different. We have closed it, ladies and gentlemen. And as you can see right here, it was the top of the gap, right? And since then we have got a reversal. The question is right now, can we start pumping to the upside, reclaiming the top of the gap and continue in our bullish momentum, or is this actually the time to start shorting the market? We will analyze multiple time frames as always, ladies and gentlemen. Let's analyze first of all the ultra high time frame chart. So right here you can see that since basically 2023 we have been creating an impulse, right? So we started first wave right here, secondary wave, third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave, which finished based on the Elliott wave rule with ending diagonal. All right, it was nice. We have been updating you about each of the subwaves there after we have got to confirmation from the shooting star and also the bearish engulfing. We knew with the highest probability we will see a massive crash, and it indeed happened. We have crashed by around 29%, and by this crash we have created a first corrective mode wave, a wave, right? It was a zigzag. Afterwards we have started to pump to the upside after touching our support right here, and we have created another secondary corrective mode wave, B wave, also a zigzag, right? Which with the highest probability finished at our magical level that I have been updating you about in the previous videos, $121,000. How that finished? Well, we have been waiting for multiple confirmations. Right here, it was enough one shooting star, but here we have got not one, but two. Together with that, we have also created a double top formation. So a beautiful sign that this resistance is really acting as a proper resistance should, and it's holding pretty well. And it seems like the ABC zigzag been finished right here, and with the low probability we will revisit the $135,000. I'm saying low probability because higher probability is that we are right now reclaiming this channel, ladies and gentlemen, and we will not visit $135,000 in the near time, because right now we are breaking also below the channel, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, for a proper reclaim of any channel you need also the retest, right? So right now we are trying to have a retest and change this support into a resistance, and it seems like it's happening. All right, if that's the case, ladies and gentlemen, and we will not be able to get back above this $121,000, basically reclaim it into support and continue towards our next major resistance, $135,000. That means if that's not gonna happen, it means that we are right now starting what? The C wave. Exactly, the C wave from a flat formation is a motived wave. I do believe we are in an expanded flat corrective mode, ladies and gentlemen. That means it subdivides itself, the C wave, the larger C wave, into 5 smaller waves. And as you know, I do believe for very long time that it will take us towards $44,000 before we can see some bigger uptrend towards $240,000, where we do believe with the Paradise team we will visit this level by the end of 2026, early 2027. All right, so right now, however, let's not front run this idea, because right now we are right here and we are doing our best to reclaim this channel. Bears are really trying hard, not allowing bulls above this resistance level. So right now we have crashed with a rise in volume. This is bearish, and right now we have got a nice retest of our moving average trend line. As you can see right here, it was acting as a support. So I've told you it will be acting as a support again. It did, and we are right now revisiting extreme extremely important resistance area, which is also nicely confluencing with retesting of that channel. As you know, from lower time frames, the channel reclaim, sometimes it can be deep, right? So this right here was a channel. We have got a break to the downside, retest, and as you can see, it retested beautifully this level right here, changed it from support into resistance, and that was your time to enter into a short position right here as well, right? Break with rising volume, retest with low volume, and that's your entry for a short. So right now, both of these are deep retests, because sometimes you need to understand is also happening what? A weak retest, exactly. So it doesn't need to exactly put it, the wick or body of the candle, to the ascending trend line. It can be just brief touch right below it, all right? But we are right now waiting for a confirmation of changing this support into a resistance, and we are waiting for ending of this lower degree secondary wave. Why secondary wave? Because the first higher degree wave of our impulse that will take us towards $44,000 is also a motive mode wave. As you know from our website mycryptoparadise.com, we have a professional article about Elliott wave theory. So here you can see how the impulse is basically being made, and you know also you can see that the first wave is a motive mode wave. That means it subdivides itself into 5 smaller waves itself. I do believe that we have already finished the first wave, and right now we are creating the secondary wave, which is a corrective mode wave. Afterwards, we will be positioning ourselves, if this resistance will be holding as a proper resistance should, into a third wave. So from the Elliott wave perspective, we are right now in a bearish formation. If you take a look at the bearish divergence, we basically created a higher high on the price action, lower high on the MACD indicator. It's already confirmed by the bearish cross. This is a bearish divergence, a classic one, ladies and gentlemen, when the price action is creating higher high, but the momentum indicator is showing you lower high. That basically tells you what? That the bulls are decreasing power, all right? They are basically being exhausted, and that's also why they have not been able to even break above this $121,000, which is another bearish sign, weakness of bulls, right? We also have this bearish cross, which basically adds to the probabilities of this bearish divergence playing out. So this is a bearish sign overall on the weekly time frame. The bearish cross just basically increased the strength of that bearish divergence. Let's take a look right now when the secondary wave is going to be finished and what needs to be the confirmations for the secondary wave not exceeding the previous highs. For that, we will take a look at the daily time frame, ladies and gentlemen. But first of all, I want to share with you some other bearish sign on ultra high time frame chart. Even though it's not on the chart itself, it's a sentiment idea. So let's take a look what we have right here. Crypto trading sentiment that you can monitor with me on our website mycryptoparadise.com. You can see that we are right now in a big numbers, all right? The score is 0.793. This is very extremely bullish. The last time we have been here with the price increasing, we have been touching around $118,000, and afterwards we have started to crashing to the downside, and we have been touching around $110,000, which is around $8,000 drop. All right, so we are monitoring this. This is extreme numbers already, ladies and gentlemen. It's touching close to 0.8, so you know how well this is working as a top-end signal and bottom-end signal in an extreme fear. We have a special crypto trading sentiment that basically taken with a help of AI, things from Bitcoin Talk, Reddit and Twitter. We are monitoring the sentiment, and this is extremely important tool from the higher time frame and ultra high time frame perspective. All right, very rarely it's touching such a numbers as 0.8 and 0.2. So when you are at these extremes, you should be careful. All right, let's take a look right now at the daily time frame. So what do we have here? First of all, let's remind ourselves that this higher degree B wave been trading inside of a zigzag formation, which is another Elliott wave pattern, right? The A wave and C wave are motive mode waves. That means they subdivide itself into 5 smaller waves, which helps you to determine when they will be finished, right? So here the B wave, corrective mode wave, finished, and the C wave, again, it's a motive mode wave, already created 5 moves to the upside. Let's calculate with me. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth. By closing this daily candle below the previous low, we knew with the highest probability it's not going to be an extension towards $135,000, and it was enough to be right here, finishing at around $123,000. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, on the daily time frame, we are at a major resistance area. All right, this is very strong. As you can see, Bitcoin is having a rough time to start breaking above it. And from the Elliott wave count, ladies and gentlemen, this was the first wave. Secondary wave is right now finishing, which is a corrective mode wave. We will be taking a look at the sub waves count on a lower time frame in a minute. But first of all, I want to share with you few things right here. First of all, by creation of lower low on the daily time frame, we have created a bullish divergence. Why? Because the MACD histogram created higher low. All right, this basically told us as we are reaching a support, the bears are losing strength, they are losing momentum, and after we have got this bullish cross, it basically confirmed the bullish price action to the upside. Right now, however, you can see that so far the price action is having lower high, all right, but the momentum indicator is being exhausted already. It's creating higher high. The bulls are being quite aggressive, and as they are aggressive, they are unable to break even like above this resistance area, furthermore above the previous high, which is creating this divergence, ladies and gentlemen. And as you know from our mycryptoparadise.com website, this is considered bearish. All right, so the bulls are getting exhausted, they are not able to break below above this resistance at all. So this suggests that we might have a reversal because of the momentum is already decreasing. Does it mean that I'm creating some huge short position right here? Well, it doesn't, right? Even though the momentum is still decreasing, we still are waiting for a bearish cross confirmation. So right now there are some points for bears right here of the bearish divergence because we are also at resistance, but it's not that strong. All right, also we are waiting for confirmations from RSI, which is right now touching the moving average RSI trend line. We don't have it just yet, and the stochastic RSI is still well in a strong buying pressure zone. So right now we are also seeing on the daily time frame an indecision candle, which is not a shooting star candlestick pattern. So we are still waiting, and in my opinion, there might be some more price action to the upside before we can say that the secondary wave is going to be finished. Why? Because we will be calculating together the subwaves, and I will tell you that from the Elliott wave perspective, the secondary wave with the highest probability is not yet finished. All right, so there is a high probability of continuing a little bit higher. I will tell you why, but obviously if you will start crashing below this moving average trend line, reclaiming it, it's a clear short opportunity. Also, if you will have some shooting star candlestick pattern, it's a clear short opportunity. But right now, shorting is not a high probability, and from the daily time frame, longing as well isn't, right? So on the daily time frame, we are waiting for a better shorting opportunities. I want to see how the secondary wave can continue a little bit further. Probably 118, even $120,000 is possible before the reversal. It will nicely confluence with a deep reclaim of this channel. As you know, we are waiting for a proper reclaim, and from the 4-hour time frame perspective, from the Elliott wave count, let me calculate with you the subwaves. Here we have finished the first wave, it's a motive mode wave. Secondary wave seems to be a zigzag. It's usually is a zigzag, the secondary waves of an impulse. So calculate with me. The A wave and C waves are motive mode waves, as you already know from the high time frame perspective, right? So here we have created a first wave, secondary, third, fourth, and fifth, right? Afterwards, ABC to the downside as the B wave, and then the C wave, again, a motive mode wave. Ladies and gentlemen, 1, 2, 3. Right now it seems like we are creating the fourth one. All right, do I have a zigzag right here? Yes, I do. So right now it seems like we are in the fourth wave of the C wave, ladies and gentlemen. So we are waiting for the fourth wave to be finished, and then we will have a final push to the upside. So it might actually nicely confluence with the Fed release tomorrow. All right, it's probably gonna be bullish release. So lots of people are right now in a long positions. We are seeing it on the funding crates, and the market makers will actually look for liquidating those people. Yeah, so I do believe some crash to the downside is possible, and then we might have a continuation to the upside. So right now, I do believe that we are in the fourth wave. The fourth wave might be retesting $113,000 or even lower, because the C wave can be also an ending diagonal, as you know, and that means that the fourth wave can go in the price territory of the first and secondary wave. What cannot happen is closing below this low of the secondary wave. All right, so if you are planning some long positions, definitely a stop loss below is important to have, because of the volatility. The volatility can just wick you out, right? So on the 4-hour time frame, I'm actually looking for some buying opportunities, also because of this planning bullish divergence. Right now you can see that we are creating a higher low, and even though if we will create a little bit further price action to the downside, it will still be higher low. All right, the only way how to remove this higher low is basically pushing the price down below the previous low. That would create lower low as well as on the indicator, and no bullish divergence would be there. But so far, even though if we will go a little bit lower with the fourth wave, which doesn't need to happen, it might be a sideways correction, right? But if we will touch the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level that I've calculated from the third wave by connecting these 2 points, ladies and gentlemen, even though we will still have a bullish divergence. All right, so this will create actually a higher low, this will be a lower low, that means a bullish divergence, right? Waiting for some further confirmations from a bullish cross. It will be a beautiful buying opportunity, and definitely nice ride for the fifth wave. That which one might be truncated if this is an ending diagonal pattern, and actually it might be also truncated in case of an impulse. So definitely first target would be great to have around $116,000, something like that, and the last target we will be planning around 121, 122, around that level, because that's the beautiful 786 Fibonacci retracement level that I have analyzed by analyzing this whole sequence of the higher degree first motive mode wave, ladies and gentlemen. So right now, this definitely at $113,000 will be acting as a support. The highest probable price action is going to be something like this, and then push to the upside, even towards this resistance level. If this resistance level is going to be reclaimed, we might go even here. All right, what cannot happen for a reversal afterwards into the impulse in an opposite direction in the third wave, right, is that we cannot close above this previous high. All right, if we will close and reclaim the previous high, this will be bullish, and we will continue further to the upside. However, once we will start seeing weakness and completion of the zigzag pattern at this resistance or this resistance level, it will be sign for us that we are starting the third wave that will take us towards around $94,000, ladies and gentlemen. So we are monitoring the price action with the Paradise team 24/7. If you are in Paradise Family VIPs, you know that you are getting a clear entry and exit target signals from us in lifetime here on YouTube. I'm recording for you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And before we finish, before we wrap it out, I also want to share with you this shooting star candlestick pattern, which is bearish, which is basically confirming the bearish trend right here. All right, and it's increasing the probabilities of going a little bit further to the downside. All right, also we are on a swing trading positioning. We are just focusing on swing short positions. For long positions, we are focusing on this 4-hour time frame, because all of these signs and because of all of these signs from Elliott wave perspective, the bullish divergence, etc., right? But from the daily and weekly time frame perspective, we are just focusing on short positions and for short confirmations. Also, I want to share with you how with the highest probability the fourth wave is right now forming. It's probably a flat pattern. This was the A wave, B wave, and right now a motive mode C wave that might take us towards that $113,000, maybe even lower. As you know, the C wave is a motive mode wave 1, 2, we might have a 3, 4, and 5th might take us there. All right, so right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm waiting for a completion of the fourth wave, be it a flat or some other pattern. We will be taking a look at how the support is reacting. All right, right here at around $113,000, $112,000. If we will have some bullish confirmations, definitely what we will will do is to position ourselves with Paradise Family VIPs into some nice long position, and then once we will start seeing weakness on the resistances on daily and weekly time frame, we'll be positioning ourselves into some nice short positions. As you know also from the previous video, we are enjoying the altcoin season, small altcoin season, and definitely once we will start seeing weakness, we are continuously taking profits, we are securing our portfolio, but we need to understand also once we start seeing loads of weakness and a potential start of the third wave, we will be closing everything absolutely at the right time. All right, so there will be loads of FOMO maybe, as it's usually before some big crash, but don't be caught in it. All right, focus on long-term profitability, focus on protecting your capital. That's the only way how you can be long-term profitable. All right, otherwise you are just gambling. If you are just focusing on short-term quick gains, you are gambling. You should be focusing mostly and first and foremost on securing your portfolio, protecting your gains, and then the profits will come as a side product of your professional trading strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, also you need to understand that if we will start reclaiming this resistance, we will definitely be longing the market towards $135,000 with Paradise Family VIP. So we are monitoring the market 24/7 here on YouTube. I will update you again on Thursday. Until then, take care. Cheers.